The best Christmas party snacks you'll love to make. Easy recipes for the holidays. The holiday season is such a special time of year filled with cozy gatherings, family traditions, and of course, delicious food. Today, I'm excited to share with you 4 of my favorite Christmas party snacks that are not only simple to prepare but will also impress your guests. Whether you're hosting a grand feast or just bringing a few snacks to a friend's holiday gathering, these treats are sure to make your spread stand out. They're festive, delicious, and perfect for spreading some holiday cheer. Let's kick things off with Cranberry Brie Bites. These delightful little pastries are the perfect combination of savory, sweet, and buttery goodness. They're inspired by traditional holiday flavors but with a little twist. Puff pastry is one of those ingredients that always impresses and doesn't take much effort to work with. These bites are a party favorite because they bring together the tartness of cranberries, the creaminess of brie cheese, and the flakiness of puff pastry in one perfect mouthful. To start, take a sheet of puff pastry and roll it out. I love using store-bought pastry. It's quick and gives you a light, flaky texture without all the work. Cut the pastry into squares about 2 inches by 2 inches. Now, for the star of the show, the brie. I recommend cutting the brie into small chunks, just enough to fit into the center of each square. Brie is the perfect cheese for this recipe because it melts into a gooey, creamy center. And that's what makes these bites so irresistible. Now let's add some cranberry sauce. If you want to make it yourself, it's so easy. Simply simmer fresh cranberries with sugar, a bit of orange zest, and a touch of cinnamon. It adds such a lovely homemade touch. But if you're short on time, store-bought cranberry sauce works perfectly too. Spoon a little bit onto each brie-filled pastry square. Next, fold up the corners of the pastry to create little pockets, and then brush each one with melted butter. The butter will give them that gorgeous golden brown color and a crisp texture when they bake. These little bites will bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit, 190 degrees Celsius, for about 15 minutes, or until they're golden and puffed up. The brie should be bubbling out of the pastry, and the cranberry sauce will add a sweet and tangy finish. The moment they come out of the oven, you'll know you've got something special. You could also add a sprinkle of fresh herbs like rosemary or thyme for a little extra flavor and color. These bites always disappear quickly at parties, and they're so easy to make ahead of time, you can prep them the day before and just bake them fresh when your guests arrive. Let's move on to something a bit lighter but just as festive, a holiday veggie platter. I love creating a veggie platter because it's such a great way to balance out all the indulgent snacks and bring in some freshness. You can use whatever veggies are in season, but I always go for colorful options like carrots, cucumber, cherry tomatoes, and broccoli. I think a veggie platter is not only delicious but also an art form. The way you arrange the veggies can make it look like a beautiful work of art on your holiday table. When I was first learning to entertain, I used to think that a veggie platter had to be basic and boring, but over time, I've learned that it's all about the presentation. You can turn something simple into a showstopper just by getting a little creative. For this platter, I've arranged the vegetables into a fun snowflake shape, but a Christmas tree or wreath shape works just as well. It's a great way to keep things festive and fun. Now for the dip, this ranch dip is always a hit. It's creamy, flavorful, and so easy to whip up. I like using a base of sour cream and mayonnaise, then stirring in some ranch seasoning and a squeeze of lemon juice. It's a classic combination, but you can easily experiment with different flavors. If you want something a bit lighter, substitute the sour cream for Greek yogurt. It gives the dip a nice tang and makes it a bit healthier. Once your veggies are arranged, serve the dip right in the center of the platter. The creamy white dip contrasts so nicely with the colorful vegetables, and it looks so festive. You can also add roasted vegetables to the platter like sweet potatoes, beets, or even roasted Brussels sprouts for a little extra flavor. And if you want a heartier dip, a creamy hummus or roasted red pepper dip would complement the fresh vegetables beautifully. This is such a versatile dish, you can really make it your own, and it's perfect for adding something healthy to your spread. Now let's move on to a crowd favorite, the cheese and charcuterie board. This one is always a showstopper at any holiday gathering, and it's so easy to customize based on what you have available. I remember the first time I made a charcuterie board. I was nervous about how to arrange everything, but over time, I've learned that it's all about balance, both in flavors and textures. Start with a selection of cheeses. I love including a mix of soft, creamy cheeses like brie, sharp cheeses like aged cheddar, and something with a little more flavor like blue cheese. Brie is always a winner because it's mild and creamy, and it pairs so well with other flavors. Blue cheese can be a little divisive, but for those who love it, the bold, tangy flavor is such a treat. Once your cheeses are arranged, add a variety of meats. I use thinly sliced salami and prosciutto, but there are so many options, so passata, chorizo, or even pepperoni work well. The meats bring richness and a little salty kick to balance out the cheese. Now let's fill in the gaps with some seasonal fruits. Grapes are a must for me, but you could also add figs, apple slices, or pomegranate seeds. These fruits add freshness, color, and sweetness to the board. And don't forget about nuts. Walnuts or almonds bring a nice crunch, and they complement the flavors of the cheese and meats perfectly. For the finishing touches, I love adding a few spreads, honey, fig jam, or even a little mustard. The sweetness of the honey is fantastic with the cheeses, and it adds an extra layer of flavor that's just perfect. A few crackers and some crusty bread like a sliced baguette are essential too. You can't go wrong with a variety of crackers, from simple water crackers to something with a bit more flavor like rosemary crackers. A charcuterie board is all about variety and balance, and the best part is that you can personalize it to your tastes. There's no wrong way to put it together. Finally, let's wrap things up with something sweet, peppermint bark. Peppermint bark has been a holiday tradition in our house for as long as I can remember. It's such a simple treat, but it always brings a festive touch to the table. Plus, it's a no-bake treat, so it's super easy to make and store ahead of time. To make the bark, start by melting some dark chocolate. You can do this on the stove or in the microwave, just make sure to stir it well so it doesn't burn. Once the dark chocolate is smooth, spread it in an even layer on a parchment-lined baking sheet. For the white chocolate, melt it gently and drizzle it over the dark chocolate. Then swirl the two together with a spatula to create that beautiful marbled effect. The key to making this bark truly festive is the peppermint. I like to crush up candy canes, but you can also use peppermint extract if you want a stronger flavor. Sprinkle the crushed peppermint over the chocolate, pressing it lightly into the surface. Let the bark set in the fridge for about 30 minutes or so, and then break it into uneven pieces. The peppermint adds such a refreshing crunch, and the combination of dark and white chocolate is simply irresistible. This treat is so easy, but it's guaranteed to impress your guests. You can make it a few days in advance, and it keeps well in the fridge for up to a week. And that's it. 4 of the best Christmas party snacks: Cranberry Brie Bites, a colorful holiday veggie platter, a gorgeous cheese and charcuterie board, and delicious peppermint bark. These recipes are simple, but they bring so much flavor and joy to your holiday celebrations. They're perfect for entertaining, and they'll make your guests feel right at home. I hope you'll try these recipes this holiday season and make your gatherings even more special. The holidays are all about sharing food, fun, and memories with the people you love, and these snacks are the perfect way to do just that. Happy holidays, everyone, and I'll see you next time with more delicious ideas.